Once there was a land, and this land was so cold that were you to stand and sing a song outside there, your words would immediately turn to ice, frozen in the air, and you'd have to pick them up ever so carefully and carry them home to your fire in order to thaw them out and hear your song again. Now, in this icy cold land, there lived a man, and the man was lonely. And the lonely man lived beside the broad, lonely sea. And like most men in his area, he'd made his living as a fisherman. And one day he was out at sea when he spied a most peculiar sight. Upon a rock were a group of beautiful women. They shone, and their skin was soft and white as moon milk. And at the bottom of the rock were their seal skins. And as soon as they saw him, all but one of the women leapt down into the sea and away, putting their seal skins on so that they could swim deep. And he grabbed the last remaining seal skin and went to the very edge of his boat and spoke to the woman. And she looked at him with sorrow but compassion in her eyes, and he looked at her with hope in his, and he said, "Woman, come away with me, for I am lonely." And she said, "Oh no, I cannot. I am other. I am from the ones beneath. I cannot come with you. We would make each other miserable." And he said, "Woman, I am miserable enough already. You couldn't make it any worse. Just come for 7 years. Just try. After that time, I'll give you back your sealskin. You can make your decision." And she looked at him, and she looked at her sealskin, and she looked at how he held it tight in his hands, but how his eyes were so sad that he and she could both weep. And she said, "Very well." And she climbed off the rock and into his boat. And they sailed back to the land, where they made a home for themselves. They made a life of some kind, as much as any of us do, really. And in time, they had a child, and the boy's name was Uruk. And their father left them alone most of the time. And while they were alone, mother and son, she taught him how to sing, how to identify the dog stars in the sky, how to carve seals from bone, how to draw fish in the sand. And they lived happily together. And then, one night, Uruk lay sleeping in his bed, and he heard his mother and his father loudly arguing. "Oh, no, not now, don't go. And she says, Give me back what is mine. I have been 7 years here on the land, and I have lost my lustre. See how I can barely stand. And he said, do not go, you would leave me wifeless, your son motherless. She sighed. She said, I do not know what I would do. I only know I must have what is mine returned to me. And Uruk, sleeping in his bed, heard his father sadly slam the door, and his mother sadly begin to weep. But then he heard a third sound. From up in the sky, he heard the wind calling, Uruk, Uruk, go to the shore, go to the sea. Uruk, get up, you must. And even though it was not usually the kind of thing he did to listen to voices from the sky, from the wind, he knew that he must get up. So he leapt out of bed and ran to the shore. And he got to the sea, and the waves were choppy. And he saw just under the waves something familiar. And it smelled of fish and the sea, and it smelled of mama, and it smelled of home. And he grabbed it, and he held it. And he didn't know what to do. And like most boys, when he didn't know what to do, he went to his mother, and he took the sealskin to her. And he knew at once a feeling of fear, deep, deep, not only in his heart, but in his bones, in his feet. And his mother, she took the sealskin, and she put it on, and he fell down crying, no, no. And she said, yes, I must. And she picked him up in her arms and ran to the sea and leapt right in. And there in the sea they were met by a wise old seal. And he said to them, how fare you, seal woman? She said, not well, look at my cracked skin and my dull eyes. But worse than that, I hurt a man, a human man. I tried, he gave me his all, but I could not stay. And the wise old seal, he nodded, and he looked to Uruk, the boy, and said, what about him? And the woman said, no, not him. This is not his home yet. It is not yet his time. And for 7 days, Uruk and his mother stayed beneath the waves. And during those 7 days, the lustre returned to his mother's skin. So you could see her bright, shining eyes again. And on the 7th night, she put Uruk down on the shore and said, now, my love, my joy, it is time for you to return to land. It is not your time, but know that I am always with you. Only touch what I have touched. Only see my stone carvings of otters and seals. Sing my songs, and I will breathe into your lungs a wind for never-ending singing of the sea. he stayed, because it was not his time. And he began to sing songs of loss and songs of longing. And mostly he sang songs of the sea.